So you obviously this concept of servant-minded leadership is enough for you to have named that name your company that, and also written the book about that, right? So what was it like? I'm curious about that moment at which you go, I think I need to write a book.
Mm.
What was tell me about like what was the impetus of the idea of a book? Where'd that come from?
The impetus, I think the impetus, just fully transparent, is everybody and their dog saying you need to write a book. If you're in the, I'll call it the consulting space, although we're more in the training space than consulting, but everybody says that. And frankly, I kind of, whatever. And one day I just kind of started to sit down and look at some of the things that I was already writing and some of the materials I was putting out there. And the book, you mentioned it, it's called Servant-Minded Leadership, How Mindfulness Changes Servant Leadership. It's been out for, I don't know, 6 months or so now. And I'm not convinced that we're not still 10 years too early. Because I think if I'm being completely just vulnerable with your audience, and I actually have a copy here, so you got the book here. But if I'm being completely vulnerable with the audience, this is kind of my philosophy on leadership. It takes us through the journey of what servant leadership started as and all of its positive attributes. It continues by saying, here's how it accidentally got screwed up. And here's where it should be and how we can execute. We always want it to be executable. And some things I probably did right in the book would include every chapter has a one-page summary at the back for the busy professional that just wants a quick bite with 3 key takeaways on their way out the door. But the reality is it's my philosophy on leadership. It's my thoughts and just me trying to pour out this vision that I have for what it means for us to really serve our people, not with expectation of return, but of expectation of investment, of pouring in or pouring out into them. And I have a feeling that people would like to see, I mean, my company's been around for 3 years. I think they want it to be about 10, 15 years before they start caring about my philosophy on leadership, if I'm being really honest. But that's what it is. It's just me sharing, and I'm grateful for the people that have purchased it, and I've been able to speak at some conferences, and we gave them away at those conferences, and it was a labor of love. It was a much longer labor of love than I ever would have anticipated, but I've been so happy to know. In fact, I got a LinkedIn message just the other day from somebody at one of the HR conferences I spoke at who purchased my book there. And she said, I was on the plane, I was reading your book, and a lady next to me asked about it, and we got into like a 2-hour conversation. She said, I gave her my copy of your book. I'm going to order another one. I was like, no, please, give me your address. I'd love to replace that book for you. But it's cool when those things happen, because maybe it's 10 years too early, maybe it's not, but the conversation is very relevant.